What's happening, YouTube? My name is Vidi. Welcome or welcome back. Today we are going to be starting our first real project here on the channel. He's coming to hang out. All right. Let's see. 2 jumper packs going to do it. There it is. I apologize for the lack of storyline and quality shots, but it was super cold out and we wanted to get the car moved over. What you're looking at is my father's 1968 Oldsmobile 442. Yeah. Woo! We don't have starting fluid, right? Just regular brake clean? Yeah, I bet. You could roast me in the comments all you want, but brake clean is going to get the job done. Okay. Hit it one more time, Joe. All right, hold on, let's get the jumper pack. All right. Dan, you're making an appearance.
Walmart value. Oh, well, don't feel bad, dude, because fucking spent, what, good money on a battery for...
Let me switch sides with you.
Interesting.
No, just this can is freaking like 8 degrees right now. Go ahead. We usually try to start the 442 every 2 to 3 weeks, but it's been about 5 or 6 weeks since we started it, and the fuel pump loses prime. We believe that there's a pinhole in some of the fuel lines. All right. Like I said, brake clean will get the job done. The 442 is currently on the lift. Dan, Joe, and I spent a bunch of time looking the car over and getting parts on the way so we could start this build process here. What we're going to be definitely doing is we are going to be removing the engine and transmission from the 442. The engine does leak oil, as all the older Oldsmobiles do. So our plan is to reseal the engine, get a fresh coat of paint on it, get some fresh rubbers on there, so all new vacuum lines, new radiator hoses, anything along those lines. In terms of the belt drive setup, we did order a fresh kit from March Performance, so we're going to be changing all the pulleys over to a 6-rib V-belt drive. The original fan clutch is going to be getting deleted because while it was idling, this original radiator does leak coolant. So we got a brand new Griffin Performance radiator on the way with electric fans that we're going to be installing on this car. Along with the radiator and the engine leaking, we noticed this a while ago, but the brake master cylinder is leaking and it's dripping brake fluid down onto our frame. So the plan is to get the engine and transmission, everything out of the way. We are going to be cleaning the engine bay, getting some fresh paint on the stuff that chipped away from the brake fluid. We have a brand new brake master cylinder and a brake booster coming for the car that we will be installing. We are going to be switching all the old school analog stuff over to digital. So with that said, I ordered a brand new instrument cluster for the car with all electric gauges. We got a brand new radio coming for the car, and we got a smaller, cleaner, easier to use heat setup to get rid of all of the linkages and mechanical connections behind the dashboard that are used with the original heat setup. Since we are upgrading everything over to digital, obviously, what I'm going to be doing is doing a full brand new harness in the car. I will be wire tucking this 442 just like I did Joey's Firebird. To go with the new painless harness and to deal with the new electrical load with everything that we're installing, we ordered a brand new PowerMaster 150 amp alternator that will look beautiful with our new V-belt setup. For the interior on the 442, we are going to be gutting it and removing everything, not only to make it easier for the wire tuck and our brand new wiring harness from Painless, but we're going to be installing sound deadening material to help with keeping the car quieter as you're driving on the interior and to help a lot with heat dissipation from the engine and transmission. There is definitely a ton of things still left to go over for this car. I don't want to bore you guys to death, but we will cover everything in the next few videos coming up. I just want to touch on a couple of the finer details and a little bit of the backstory for this 442. Our plans are to hopefully have this car on the road driving by early to mid-April. That way we can enjoy it not only for spring and summer and maybe even take it to some shows as well. But let's get into the finer details and wrap this episode up.
I don't know a ton about the specifics when it comes to Oldsmobile 442s. What I do know about this car is it's a 400 block turbo 400 transmission. It's a 3-speed automatic. It is a factory convertible car with a bench seat. Now, a lot of people will tell you a 442 is a 4-speed on the floor, 4-barrel carburetor, dual exhaust. That always stands true, but I don't know the specific details on which this one is, but I know that Oldsmobile didn't make a ton of convertibles with bench seats, so we're pretty sure that this car is rare. We're not building it back to original, we're building it to reliable. But it does have a 400 block. It is a turbo 400 tranny. The rear end is not a posi, which I believe most of the 442s, if not all, had posis when it came to true 442 cars. Right now, it's pretty much all original. We're going to keep the car at its stock power level. We're not doing any sort of performance upgrades in terms of horsepower or transmission changes or shift kits or anything like that. This is just tear it all down, reseal all of the parts that can leak or are already leaking, make sure that suspension and brakes, fuel lines, all those things are in good working shape. There's nothing to worry about. If my father was to take this car out for an hour ride, I wouldn't be getting a phone call that he broke down because something is 50 years old or it's original from 68 and decided to finally crap out today. We don't want him to ever have to go through that. We don't have to tow this car. This is a driver. This is one of those cars that you're supposed to just take out on a nice cruise, listen to some music, go get some food. I would like to see him and my mom take this for a ride once we're all done, and maybe we'll even get a reaction video on him finally taking it out on its first voyage since 1987. For now, we got the car inside. We're going to start tearing it down in the next video. If you have any questions or there's something about a 442 you think we should know or something you want to see in detail on this, please feel free to leave it in the comments section down below. If not, consider liking, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.